Romanticism attitude are intellectual orientations that characterize many works of literature. Painting, music, architectures, criticism, and historiography. In Western civilization, over a period from the late 18th to the mid 19th century, Romanticism can be seen as a rejection of the precepts of order, called harmony, balance, idealizations, and rationality that typified classicism in general and late 18th century, new classicism in particular. It was also to some extent our reaction against the Enlightenment and against 18th century rationalism and physical materialism in general. Romanticism emphasized the individual, the subjective, the irrational, the imaginative, the personal, the spontaneous, the emotional, the visionary, and the transcendental. Among the characteristic attitude of Romanticism were the following: dependent appreciation of beauties of nature, a general exaltation of emotion over reason and of the senses over intellect, a turning in upon the self and a heightened examination of human personality and its mood and mental potentialities, a preoccupation with the genius, the hero and the expectational figure in general, and a focus on his or her passions and inner struggles. A new vision of artist as a supremely individual creator, whose creative spirit is more important than strict adherence to form, rules, and traditional procedures, and emphasize upon imaginations as a gateway to transcended experience and spiritual truth, an obsessive interest in folk culture, national and ethnic cultural origins, and the medieval era, and a predilection of the exes, exotic, the remote, the mysterious, the weird, the ugly, the monstrous, the beasts, and even the scientific. Literature. Romanticism proper was preceded by several related developments from the mid 18th century on that can be termed pre Romanticism. Among such trends was a new appreciations of the medieval romance, from which the Romantic movement derives its name. The romance was a lead or ballad of shivering adventures, whose emphasis on individual heroism and on the exotic and the mysterious was his clear contrast to the elegant formality and artificiality of prevailing classical form of literature, such as the French neoclassical tragedy or the English heroic couplet in poetry. This was interest in relatively unsophisticated but overtly emotions, literary expressions of the past was to be a dominate note in Romanticism. Johann Heinrich Wilhelm Tischbein, Goethe in the Roman Campaign. Goethe is the Roman Campaign. Oil on canvas by Johann Heinrich Wilhelm Tischbein, 1787. In the Stedel Museum, Frankfurt, S.A. Journal. Romanticism, sorry. in English literature began in the 17th-19th century with the publications of the lyrical ballad of William Wordsworth and S.T. Coleridge. Wordsworth prefaced to the second edition 18 of lyrical ballad in which they described poetry as the spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings because the manifesto of the English Romantic movement in poetry. William Blake was the third principal poet of the movement era phase in England. The first phase of the Romantic movement in Germany was marked by innovations in both content and literary style and by a preoccupations with the mystical, the subconscious, and the supernatural. A wealth of talents, including Frederick, Frederick D. Hold, the Earl Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, Jane Paul novelists, Ludwig D. Augustus Wilhelm and Friedrich von Schelge, Wilhelm Heinrich Wackenroder, and Frederick Schelling belonging to this first phase. Revolutionary French, Francisco Auguste, René Vicomte de Chateaubriand, and the Maid de Stael were the chief initiators of Romanticism by virtue of their influential historical and theoretical writing. Okay, do like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.